What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to break down some of Stefon Diggs' most creative route running. So we're going to be taking a look at three different routes here. We're going to talk about how you guys can get separation on an inside breaking route versus inside shade press, how you guys can understand timing and entire play concepts with your quarterback, and just overall how you can be a better wide receiver. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Hope it teaches you a few new things. But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you're struggling with knowing what to do this offseason, check out that very first link in the description below for our ultimate 8-week wide receiver workout plan. What you'll get access to is it's 8 weeks, 500 plus drills and exercises in the gym and on the field that wide receivers can do. We break everything down by a sets and reps basis on a daily schedule. We break down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. And we give a video example of each drill, an example of each exercise. So check out that very first link below if you want to improve your skills this offseason. Let's get started. So first route here, I think a lot of you have probably seen this route where Diggs gives us like hesitation release, breaks this thing off, and runs this blaze out. So what is a blaze out first and foremost? Some people call it a slant out, but a blaze out, they call it a blaze out, is when you break and it's not like one single cut. You take like 3 steps, 2, 3. You take 3 steps to be able to get you out. Now, a lot of people will say that this is a whip route. This is not a whip route. On a whip route, he would keep his hips and shoulders facing the line of scrimmage and would turn out. That's why this would be considered a slant out, because he's taking the 3 steps at the break and he is turning his back. No different than if you were running a post route, or some people call it a martini route. So now when he runs this route here, you see how he takes this like kind of slower hesitation release to the outside, gives the crossover, and then breaks back inside. So what's the reason for this slow release? And this slow release is solely based on timing. See, a lot of wide receivers get this stuff confused. A lot of people, if they were to see this route, and it would be like a one-on-ones t-shirt and short setting, because everybody loves to post those videos, everybody loves to talk about those videos, you know, whether it's at a college camp, whether it's at just a regular camp, or whether it's practice film. And everybody's so quick to jump at the, oh, that release takes too long. Oh, the quarterback's going to be sacked. But you got to understand that that's probably true if it's cover 0 and the defense is bringing the house and it's a quick game play. But when it is a play action play like this, because that's what this play was, it was play action. It was a boot. The quarterback's doing a play action fake and whipping back around and hitting this slant out. It times up perfectly because you don't want to be out of the route too quick. You have to understand timing as an entire play concept as a wide receiver. As a wide receiver, you don't just get the play and think, oh, I'm running a slant out. It's what's the pass protection? Is it going to be play action? What kind of read are you on the play? And if we know that it's a play action concept, I have a little bit more time to operate off that line of scrimmage. Because after this, we're going to show an example of the exact same route, but it's a first read route and how he changes up the release. So let's talk about this. Why would he decide to go with this type of a release? Because this DB's inside shade. So when he's inside shade and you have to run an inside route like a slant, you would want to attack what? You'd want to attack his outside shoulder, because the goal is to get him to flip to the fade, make him think you're going vertical so we could slip back underneath and win. So if I'm running a slant out, I obviously want to make it look like it's an actual slant. So this is how you would run the slant. If it was like an RPO slant concept, this would be the type of release you'd take, because you want it to time up with the quarterback correctly. You don't want to get to the window too quick. So he does a great job of attacking outside, throwing that crossover move, selling with his shoulders and his hips as he throws that cut. The reason why that's important is because that's where the DB's watching. If you guys go through and make cuts and you just give these little head fakes and just lean to the left, but your hips and shoulders stay vertical and it telegraphs where you're going to go, you're not going to get any space. You have to actually throw your hip and throw your shoulders as you make a cut with that left foot in this scenario. Now, when he breaks back to the inside, he does a great job of having speed. When he has speed to the inside and that speed is crossing this DB's face, that's what gets him to react. Anytime wide receivers are running double moves, whether it's like a slant and go, whether it's like a slant out, whether it's a post corner, that first break that they make right here, guys love to chop their strides. They love to slow down. And that's not going to get a DB. That is what he is looking for. And you see how Diggs isn't even looking back for the ball. He's just simply running hard and he's committing his hips and his shoulders. That is enough to sell this thing. And then we can put the brakes on and get out of this route. So make sure, fellas, anytime I'm doing a double move, I'm running in full stride and full speed. Anytime I have a longer developing play, I want to use a longer developing release. We don't want to use this type of release if it's a quick game, cover 0 scenario. And fellas, let's make sure when I'm running a double move, make it look the exact same. Make it treat it exactly how you would run a slant in that situation. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Diggs understanding the play concept, having the right tempo on his play, and then being able to finish on this catch. Okay, so now this is the same scenario, but it's a little bit quicker developing. So I want you to see what release he decides to go with here. So he decides to go with this wide step release, takes the inside, breaks this thing off on that slant out. That's pretty textbook for the most part. But again, you see how he gets off the ball much quicker. So what can we anticipate about this? We don't know the full play concept because we obviously don't have the aerial view of this thing. But if he's doing this wide step release, taking a quicker release, I guarantee you it's probably not a play action concept. It's probably not a boot concept. It's probably something a little bit quicker. He probably has this slant out, and he's probably like the first or the second read, and he needs to get up into this route. So many young wide receivers, fellas, they just get the route and that's it. They think that that's all they need to know. This is why sometimes it's very dangerous for wide receivers who are in like signal-based offenses, where they look to the sideline, their receiver coach will give them a signal, and then they just go and run their route. And that's usually happens at like the high school level, but in the youth level. But as a wide receiver, fellas, we got to know more than just my route. I want to know the entire play concept. Because if that QB is in like 3-step drop back footwork or quick game footwork, I know I probably got to go something quick. If he's in 5-step footwork or 3-step drop footwork from gun, I could probably take my time a little bit because, again, the play has to develop that way. The pass protection is built that way. So Diggs, this release right here is called a wide step release, where you step with your back foot and you step wide. And when you step wide, it is so important that you actually threaten this DB outside of his frame. When you step, you don't want to do this step that's behind the line of scrimmage. You want to actually go at like a 45-degree angle. Again, you see his hips and his shoulders selling to the outside because that's what that DB will watch, and that's what gets the DB to move. There comes a point on every release where this DB has to react. And if I step outside of his frame, if my whole body goes to the outside, nothing about this right here looks like he's running inside. Everything about this looks like he's going to take a quick outside release, speed release to the outside, and that's what will get this DB to jump. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Diggs, selling with the wide step, breaking to the inside, and selling the route with speed, stride, and winning on that slant out yet again. All right, so he's at the top of the screen here, and this is going to be kind of another way to win on a slant route. This is just a straight up slant. And again, this builds into the slant out. It's fellas, your offensive coordinators are usually pretty smart and they usually build a lot of routes off of each other. Like for example, if you're a team that likes to run a lot of drags, like a lot of mesh from the slots, he'll probably run a lot of whip routes where you'll drag and just whip it right back out. If you're a team that likes to run a lot of slants, slant outs, you can maybe run a whip off of the slant stem to make it build off of each other, to keep it unpredictable. So what Diggs does right here against this inside shade DB, who's maybe got about 2 yards off, is he gives a tempo change and then a burst. And that's a great way to get that DB to overreact. So let's play at full speed. So he comes off, he hesitates, then bursts up to the inside. And you see how it gets that DB to fully commit those hips to that fade and open the gate. Because again, this release can build off of maybe another release that I've used. Maybe Diggs a couple times versus inside shade. And you see guys like Devontae Adams do this a lot. You see guys like Keenan Allen do this a lot. Justin Jefferson, some of the top route runners in the game. They'll come off, they'll give this little hesitation, and then they'll go take off and run a fade. And that is what we want to make it look like. You see how he gives a little hesitation, then he bursts. And he takes that explosive first step. DB's completely opened on that gate because he knows where to attack. Attack the outside shoulder, make your releases look the exact same. If you can pair your slant routes and you could pair your fade routes and make it look fairly similar, easy money against this DB. Like, think about it like this. Let's say when you run this fade route a lot, you'll have a DB who's inside shade, and let's say maybe you attack him, right? And you attack his leverage, then give him a move. Maybe if I'm running a slant, I attack, and then I push back up outside, he'll bite, and I could slip back under. It's about pairing your releases together. Now, when you pair them, you got to make sure you keep timing with the quarterback, all that stuff like we talked about earlier. But you got to make sure that your releases look similar. Don't have 20 different moves that you can run out there. Maybe 5 to 6 different ones. Organize your plan and be able to execute it and make the routes look similar. That's how we're unpredictable. Now, I think this DB here was a little bit anxious, and he probably opened up way too early simply because look at where Diggs is aligned right here. He is way past the bottom of the numbers, right? How many routes can he really run from this spot? Is he probably going to be running a comeback? No. Is he probably going to be running an out route? Probably not, because there's not enough space to accelerate. So I think this DB probably should have been a little bit more patient with his inside leverage, solely because this wide receiver can't threaten him there. And as a wide receiver, you got to know that. You got to understand how the DB side of things will react, why he plays a certain way, and what he is thinking to get space. So I don't think he should have opened up this quick to the fade, simply because, again, he does not have much space. Even if he takes an outside release and he has you by a step, that's still a very, very tough throw for that QB. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Diggs with the tempo change, being able to accelerate, and then getting separation on that slant route. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. Always great to hear from you guys as usual. And again, fellas, if you would like an 8-week wide receiver gym and on-field training schedule, check out that very first link in the description below. Over 500 plus exercises and drills. Hope we get you guys on that. I'll see you guys next time.